Hey everyone, this is Gary Kayye, and we're going to talk to you about something that's really cool. It's going to happen in 11 days. I'm actually getting on an airplane, flying to Denver for the industry's first trade show. This is not just like a little gathering or a conference. This is a full-on trade show happening in Denver in 11 days. It's called TEC 2021. It was supposed to be TEC 2020. Of course, all of that got changed, the virtual and all the stuff going on. Everyone knows what's happened over the last year. We don't really have to talk about that. But I'm joined today with Anthony Berticelli, who is the VP of Operations at PSA Security Network. Anthony, how are you?
I'm great, Gary. Thanks for having me on today.
Well, look, I'm excited about this. We are going to cover this show hybrid with you. This is going to be a full-on hybrid show. You're going to have live presence. People can sign up to go live. In fact, there's a website already up. You can actually go and register for this. You got 11 days still to register for it. You can go to psatec.com, register for the event. You can attend live, you can attend online, or you can do a combination of the two. Anthony, you're excited about this. I mean, you're gonna set a record here. This is gonna be a big deal. This is the first live event. What do you think?
Yeah, we're excited. It is the first live event back. We start, as you mentioned, on Monday, May 3rd. Our live portion of the event is going to be Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, the 3rd through the 5th. We're going to hold roughly 30 to 35 live in-person sessions throughout those 3 days. Half of those, as you mentioned, will also be live streamed out to our virtual attendees. And virtual attendance will run from Monday to Thursday that week, and we'll have roughly an additional 100 to 110 sessions that are going to be running over those 4 days for our virtual attendees. So super excited to get back in person.
And we're going to be there actually in person. I'm actually going to get in the airplane along with a bunch of our team members. We're going to cover the entire show live for you. We're going to create a microsite. We'll bring those details. We'll give you a link if you're looking at this thing online. Just click on the link below. You can see the microsite. Of course, until the event starts 11 days from now. So the first day of the event is May what? What's the date? What are the dates of the event?
It's May 3rd, that Monday. And so the event actually runs May 3rd through May 6th.
All right, so that by the 4th and 5th, we should start having content on that website. Now, going back live is not just like flipping a switch, right? I mean, this is something you're really having to plan for. And one of the things I thought was really cool is that you have color-coded badges. So if you see someone wearing a red badge, they want that lets you know right away that they want people to be 6 feet away from them. If they're wearing a yellow badge, be kind of cautious, elbow bump. Green badge, shake my hand. I think that's a really cool way of handling it because that gives you a visual presence, and no one has to say what their concern is. No one has to verbalize it. It's sort of like inherent and built into the platform. What other kind of things have you done? Like, I'm sure you have hand sanitation stations, but like, what's going to be different? What are we going to see that's different than we've seen at any other show since all this started?
I think a lot of it's going to be different. And being the first one back, I think everything's going to be new. Not only are we following CDC guidelines and recommendations, but we're also following the strict guidelines that are in place from the city of Denver, as well as the hotel that the event is at. And as you mentioned, everyone has different comfort levels, not only with coming back into person, but with that interaction and also with voicing what their comfort level is. So that's where things like the badges really come into play. But, I think what you've seen throughout the past year is still going to be in place. There are going to be masks required inside. We're going to social distance whenever possible. Our classroom setups are very different than what you see. So, typically where we would run, 20 to 25 concurrent classrooms that may be, a capacity of 30, 35 people shoulder to shoulder, we're using bigger rooms where people are much more spaced out. Sessions are spaced as well. So we actually have, what would basically be a sanitation crew from the hotel who comes in between every session and completely sanitizes the rooms to make sure that everyone has a very safe experience coming back for the first event of the year.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be sort of like boarding an airplane where you have that extra time, that buffer. I've flown a few times since all this happened, and they're constantly cleaning. Who burdens the cost for that? Just out of curiosity, are you adding an additional? Does it cost you more to put this on than it would have last year because of this, or is this something that all of the hotels and convention centers are now building into their workflows?
It's a little bit of both. A lot of it is required based on what the hotels are doing, but a lot of things, we push as well to be safe. So The one thing that we're not doing, obviously, is pushing that cost on to our attendees or users.
Yeah.
Events are going to be very different going forward, and just the hybrid structure of running a virtual event and an in-person event really changes the way everything is done, and probably will going forward. So, a lot of this is mandated by the city of Denver or by the location itself, and obviously by PSA and our team to make sure that everyone feels comfortable.
So technically the event is the 3rd through the 6th. We're going to be there. I'm flying there along with our team. You can register now at psatech.com. You have some great speakers. I mean, some of the highlighted speakers that I am aware of that are worth mentioning are, first off, Chuck Wilson from NSCA. He's been a big part of PSA for many years. He's going to present. Jillian Chamberlain's going to present. She's going to do an awesome session. You can actually join that session live or online. Chris Peterson's going to present. Again, you can join that session live or online. This is going to be a full-on hybrid event. This is going to be a great event. It's going to be exciting to actually see you do this. You're going to be the first event back. I mean, you're beating all the biggies, right? Everyone's, there was no DSE show. There was no NAB show. There's no CES. Infocom got pushed and then pushed again. ISC is not happening until June. You're going to beat them by over a month. Are you excited or nervous or both? Where does it fall in line of that pendulum of excitement and nervous?
For me personally, I think it's the pendulum swayed a little bit more to excitement, but being the first one back, obviously there's, a little bit of nerves and things that we have to take into consideration, but that's where the hybrid structure really comes into play. So our in-person attendees are really focused on the business executives and leaders of companies. And, that allowed us to kind of tailor what that experience was, as well as limiting that in-person experience, where other shows may not have that ability to do both and kind of limit the audience. This gives us that flexibility to allow certain folks to come in attendance and be in person who may, kind of like you said, have already been traveling or already be vaccinated and comfortable. And a lot of the other attendees can do this virtually. And that also allows us to not put quite as much of a hindrance on the daily work that the companies are having to do by limiting the amount of travel that those folks are having and the time out of the field or out of the office.
If I walk the show floor, how many exhibitors am I going to see?
You're probably going to see somewhere in the range of 20 to 30 exhibitors this year, so significantly smaller than what we normally do. But again, that's by design. We're trying to keep things as as contained as possible and as safe as possible, allowing for distance, but still making sure those interactions are there and are valuable.
Do we have any interaction between the online and the in-person attendees? Have we figured that out yet, or are we going to kind of get two different experiences if I join in person versus if I join online?
That's always a tough game to play in between, but we are doing our best to make sure, a couple examples of that. So the booths that are in person are also going to have a virtual presence. So whether they choose to have their laptop up and interacting with people virtually at their booth, they can do that, or they can have a separate person doing that. Yeah. Additionally, the courses that are live streamed out, the computer or the live stream will actually be monitored by a PSA or USAV employee who will be able to answer those questions and interact directly with the speaker on the virtual attendee's behalf.
Yeah, and we will be doing booth tours. We'll be doing product launch interviews. We'll be just like we normally cover our show, but we're going to be doing it hybrid along with the event, bringing this event to the attendees who are there live, but also to the attendees that are there online. I'm excited to be part of this, Anthony. I appreciate you joining me today. You can register in the link below or go to psatec.com. But if you can't go, we're going to cover it, and we're going to see us pushing it on social. You'll see it on our website. This is going to be an experience for us too, experiment and an experience. I'm excited to go back. I've been wanting to go back to do a live event. I'm excited to be part and be invited to do your event hybrid. But I'm also, I'm also conscious of the fact that I might be the only one that's excited when I approach them in the booth. So I love this color-coded badge concept. Go ahead and print me a green one. I'm perfectly fine with interacting with anyone that comes up to me. So come up and say hello. Come up and say hello to me. Anthony, I'll see you there in 11 days.
Awesome. We look forward to seeing you there as well, and hope to see the audience there to join us. Thanks, Kayye.
Yeah,
appreciate it.
Yeah, and thanks everyone for joining us.
and rAVe.